In our headlines for this evening, locally, historic OAS conference to convene in St. Kitts and Nevis, and Agriculture Open Day to feature booth operators competition. The details are straight ahead. Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Monday, March 23rd, 2015. I'm your presenter for this evening, Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. A historic OAS conference will convene in St. Kitts and Nevis this week. Approximately 120 delegates are expected to participate in the 33rd Model Organization of American States MOAS General Assembly for Universities of the Hemisphere, scheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday 24th to Thursday 26th March in St. Kitts. The model session is a simulation exercise where, through role-playing, the students represent the diplomats and political officials of the member states of the OAS and follow parliamentary proceedings to debate and approve resolutions dealing with current issues. It is designed to promote democratic values among the youth of the hemisphere by familiarizing students, faculty, and academy institutions of the Americas with the work of the OAS and its member states, as well as with the organization's role as the premier political forum in the hemisphere. Delegates are expected from Argentina, Barbados, Bolivia, Brazil, Canada, Colombia, Costa Rica, the United States, Guyana, Jamaica, Mexico, Nicaragua, Peru, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, and host country, St. Kitts and Nevis. Meantime, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Mark Brantley, says the hosting of the MOAS in St. Kitts and Nevis is a historic moment for the Twin Island Federation. This is the first time it has been hosted in the English-speaking Caribbean, and Minister Brantley says it means that St. Kitts and Nevis is making history in stepping up to the plate as a small country to host this very significant gathering of university students from all over the region. Minister Brantley thanks St. Kitts and Nevis's ambassador to the OAS, Her Excellency Jacinth Henry Martin, whom he credited as being the driving force behind the success of bringing the MOAS to the country. He added that it fits nicely with the objectives of his one-month-old government. Minister Brantley says the approach of the National Unity Government towards foreign policy is to enlarge the footprint of St. Kitts and Nevis to ensure that its position in the region and the world is better developed, and this is the type of exposure that is important for us as a small country. The ability to showcase the rich cultural, culinary, and tourism offerings of the country are listed as benefits of hosting the conference. However, Minister Brantley says he is most excited by the potential for exchanges between the local students and those from overseas. Our young people have an opportunity to interact with, rub shoulders with, learn from, and teach students from other parts of the OAS, and that augurs well in terms of future relations and in terms of people-to-people relations and bringing our people closer together, the Foreign Affairs Minister says. The Ministry of Agriculture is advising vegetable farmers, ornamentalists, and agro-processors that its booth owners competition will be on once again as the ministry hosts its 2015 Open Day this Thursday and Friday. The first competition was hosted last year. Permanent Secretary Eric Evelyn says it went so well, the ministry has decided to coordinate the competition for a second time.
Yeah, I do not have the criteria here offhand, but of course it will include things like the way the products are organized in your stall, the impact that it would have on patrons to the open day, the overall look, the overall way the products are organized in the booth, and the color and that sort of thing. So we are encouraging the booth owners once again to put your creativity at work. Because of the fact that the open day continues to go in leaps and bounds and it continues to go in terms of its standard, we believe this is one way you can lift your standard, and this is one way that you can encourage more persons to come and visit your booth. Because once your booth is looking attractive, it will bring more persons, and of course that will mean more business for you and a bigger profit margin.
Last year's winners were Emmentine Thompson for the vegetable production category, Tropical Nursery for the ornamentalist category, and Val's Delights for the agro-processing category.
Last year, the winners were unanimous. We are hoping that this year, the booth owners could put out a little bit more effort, and so we would not have persons winning so easily. This year, we are offering a trophy for the winners of the various booths. Last year, for the first time, we offered cash, and based on the suggestion from the persons who won last year, they suggested that this year we should offer a trophy. So we will be offering a trophy for the winners. Once again, the vegetable producers, the ornamentalists, and the agro-processors.
The Ministry of Agriculture believes that this is one way of continuing to lift the profile of the booth owners and the open day as a whole.
Please, booth owners, it will cost you nothing much. We are not asking you to spend any additional money, but just to use your creativity and the way you portray and display your products could mean quite a lot. And so we are asking you to give it a lot of thought. You have a couple more days to give it some thought and come with your best ideas to put forward on Open Day Thursday and Friday.
The 21st Agriculture Open Day will be held under the theme Strengthening the Drive Toward Food Security. And coming up after the break, Culturama Committee announces winner of 2015 slogan competition. Stay tuned.
Taxes are the lifeblood of a nation. Feel good about what your tax dollars do in Nevis. As a responsible citizen, your tax dollars support caring for the elderly. Pay your taxes on time. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis.
Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Tourism is once again encouraging the island's students to participate in the annual Florida Caribbean Cruise Association FCCA Children's Environmental Poster Contest. Tourism Education Officer Vanessa Webb says this year's theme is My Caribbean, Your Caribbean to Protect and Preserve.
The contest will be conducted in two categories. The junior division, and that is for students who are 12 years and under, and the senior division for students 13 to 16 years of age. Each student must submit one poster and select a topic of their choice that promotes environmental awareness. Each poster must depict at least 3 ways in which his or her destination can make a difference in preserving the environment. And all of this, of course, will be written in English. To be eligible, each poster must accompany a summary description along with the title of each poster.
Webb notes that the FCCA makes students' participation worthwhile as the association awards attractive prizes to winners and their respective schools.
For all those who place local, who are first on the local level, and do not win regionally, each person in both junior and senior category of the contest will receive a cash prize of $200 US. Now, the winning posters in the junior and senior category will be forwarded to the FCCA's headquarters in Miami. From there, selection will be made of overall Caribbean winners. And so the prize for the overall winners, third place, $1,000 US, second place, $1,500 US, and first place, $3,000 US. And this, whatever the student gets, the school gets the same amount.
Students can get more information about the environmental poster competition from their schools.
We really want to encourage our students to participate. We have had students who've won in the past, regionally, and we're looking forward to our Division students excelling again this year in the FCCA poster contest. So we welcome all of you to use your creative skills, contact your schools. Your schools are asked to submit the posters to the Ministry of Tourism, and the deadline is the 1st of May.
Last year's local winners were Jael Swanston of the Ivor Walters Primary School and Kelsia Liebert of the Gingerland Secondary School. History is being made this year as for the first time in 34 years, the Gulf Insurance Primary School Championship is being co-chaired by 3 entities. That is according to Keith Glasgow, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development. He made the announcement last week at a press conference to update the public on this year's meet.
We have representing the Ministry and Department of Education, Ms. Michelle Sutton. We have representing the Ministry and Department of Youth and Sports, Mr. Jamie Claxton. And we have representing the Nevis, the entry play, we have Mr. Lester Blackett.
Each entity, according to Glasgow, is charged with certain areas of administration and organization of the meet.
For this year, we have the Nevis Amateur Athletic Association president, of course, Mr. Lester Blackett, who would be administering the technical aspects of the meet, which would include all track and field events. And then for the rest of the administration would be divided between Mr. Jamie Claxton and Miss Michelle Sutton. And so with these 3 individuals, of course, there are subcommittees that would be under their direct charge. And so what we are trying to do this year is to improve the entire organization of the meet so as to ensure that things flow very smoothly and that we have less confusion. So what we have this year is that the Ministry and Department of Youth and Sport is essentially playing a much bigger role than it has in the past.
The first day of interprimary activities will be tomorrow, Tuesday, March 24th at 1 p.m. at the El Camino T-Willett Park. Athletes will participate in the cricket ball throw and the standing long jump. All other field events, high jump, javelin, and shot put would likely be added to the meet's program as of next year.
The meet will continue in the same fashion that we've done in the past number of years. But ultimately, education continues to plan early to ensure that our schools are developed and they continue to have the support for developing in the sequential order for field events as well. So as Mr. Blackett had mentioned, that's the reason why we have not continued in the full fashion for the field events this year, and to ensure that our children are developed in a proper manner to avoid injuries, and also ensure technique is to put in the forward, not ensuring just competition alone. Because as we know, competition at this age can also cause detrimental factors later on. So we want to ensure that the development stage is always continuous and ensuring that is the best for our children. And so next year, yes, we'll be implementing other field events, but ultimately it's at the best decision at the school level to ensure that everything's done in a proper sequential manner and to ensure that all children are safe at all times.
The second day of the meet will be Wednesday, April 1st. Deputy Governor General, His Honor Eustace John, acting on the advice of the Nevis Island Administration's Cabinet, has declared Wednesday, April 1st, 2015 as a public half-holiday on the island of Nevis on the occasion of the Gulf Insurance Primary Schools Championships. The marketing of Nevis's Culturama 2015 will be enhanced now that the committee has revealed the slogan for this year's festival. Executive Director of the Culturama Secretariat, Antonio Abernathy Liebert, today visited the Charleston Primary School to introduce the slogan contest winner.
Earlier in 2015, we launched the Culturama 41 slogan competition, and we received many entries. It was a somewhat of a difficult task to select the slogan from the entries that we received. But in the end, we selected a slogan that we thought would best showcase what our intentions are for Culturama 41. I would now like to introduce to you our slogan winner. She is a teacher here at the Charlestown Primary School. In fact, a grade 2 teacher here at the Charlestown Primary School. And with us this morning, we have a representative from her class. I am pleased to introduce you to our 2015 slogan winner, Miss Ziwani Morton.
Morton says she feels proud of herself for winning the contest. She submitted a total of 6 slogans to the festival committee.
I saw the contest launched on Facebook and I decided to try my hand at it because I always wanted to give an entry. And I just sat down and wrote different slogans, and this just happened to be the one that was chosen.
That was the grade 2 class taught by Miss Morton at the Charlestown Primary School, saying the slogan for 2015, Culture, Fet and Fun, Culturama 41. Antonio Abernathy Libert outlined the prizes for Morton, winner of the slogan contest.
For winning the 2015 slogan, Miss Morton wins 2 complimentary passes to all 2015 Culturama events, along with a plaque. And these would be handed to her at the opening of Culturama, which will be on July the 23rd of this year.
The dates for Culturama 41 are July 23rd to August 4th, 2015. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.